What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we know that the headline in the sport of boxing today was that 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer who's currently the unified super middleweight WBC, WBA, WBO, Ring Magazine, super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez and his negotiation talks for a massive undisputed Mexican Independence Day weekend showdown against undefeated IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant has fell through due to wording in the contract. Okay? So, according to reports and according to Caleb Plant, due to his frustration, he let it be known that he has offered Canelo Alvarez everything but the sun. He stated that Canelo Alvarez is set to get $40 million, the highest payday of his career. Canelo Alvarez is also going to get money from this Hennessy sponsorship. He's also going to get Mexican TV sponsorship. And he's going to get the highest share of the pay-per-view live gate revenue. Okay? And Caleb Plant, he stated that Canelo Alvarez even made ridiculous demands as far as if Canelo Alvarez is to get injured, Caleb Plant has to wait for Canelo Alvarez to get ready. But if Caleb Plant got injured, Canelo Alvarez could fight until Caleb Plant is ready. So he said that those things were ridiculous. He also stated that, Canelo Alvarez is just simply, throwing his weight around, essentially. He's the biggest star. And Caleb Plant, he says, we're wasting precious time because now we're only 7.5 weeks away from the target fight date of September 18th. And we're losing time for training, promotion, and for testing. Okay? Now, there's people that feel like Canelo Alvarez is essentially holding up the fight or prolonging it or delaying it simply because he wants Caleb Plant to have a short amount of time to train. He wants Caleb Plant, fight, he'll have, less time to do testing. There's a lot of speculations, okay? Caleb Plant, he simply wants the fight to happen, and he stated that he's doing everything in his power to make the fight happen, and Canelo Alvarez is doing everything in his power not to make the fight happen. So Caleb Plant, he says he's starting to question if it's about legacy or, is it simply about just Canelo Alvarez having the power, okay? So with that said, a source close to Team Canelo Alvarez has essentially, and close to the situation, has informed me that it's about a multi-deal contract once again. That Canelo Alvarez, this has been reported publicly, that Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant's team, they have been going back and forth over the weekend, trading, demands, okay? What they want, what Caleb Plant's side want, and what Canelo Alvarez's side wants. And Canelo Alvarez, 56 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 38 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was May of this year when he took on defeated former 2-division undefeated world champion who was the WBO super middleweight world champion, British superstar boxer Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, so according to Canelo Alvarez and his team, they've also given, it's not a one-way street, and that they've also given Caleb Plant what he was looking for, which is the $10 million. Caleb Plant, we know, was stating that he wanted $10 million. And Caleb Plant also, felt that his worth was more than Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith, it was the vacant WBC title was on the line, and Caleb Smith's WBA title, in which Caleb Smith got $6 million. Then we know Billy Joe Saunders, his belt was on the line, 3 belts in the Ring Magazine, and he got $8 million. Now we know Caleb Plant was seeking out $10 million, And now the $50 million was on the table, which Canelo Alvarez is going to take 40. Caleb Plant is going to take 10. Caleb Plant, he also stated that Canelo Alvarez is looking to choose a small ring once again. Similar issues that he had with Billy Joe Saunders. And Billy Joe Saunders, he seeked out a bigger ring, essentially. And Matchroom CEO and promoter who co-promotes with Canelo Alvarez, he stated that he took the demands to Canelo Alvarez and they agreed. Okay, Canelo Alvarez agreed. So that's another sticking point, is that Canelo Alvarez is seeking out a smaller ring. Okay, and it's being reported that the fight will take place in Las Vegas, and they have a standard size of 20 by 20. And we know Billy Joe Saunders was looking for a bigger ring, and it's being reported that Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez agreed to a 22 by 22 foot ring. So it's a lot of posturing, I believe, going back and forth. But the sticking point that essentially has Canelo Alvarez on pause is that he does not want to sign a multi-fight contract with PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, and founder and advisor Al Heyman. Okay, that's what's being reported by Team Canelo now, is that they're looking to sign Canelo Alvarez for a multi-fight deal, and essentially it's being looked at as, you know, if you want this Caleb Plant fight, you want this fourth belt, you want to create history, this legacy fight, history will be made either which way. The winner of the fight, should there not be a draw, the winner of the fight is going to be the first super middleweight undisputed world champion in the history of sport of boxing at 168. And if Canelo Alvarez should win, he would create history 2 times over. He'll be the first Mexican 4 major sanction belt holder and the first undisputed super middleweight world champion. So with that said, you know, it's history on the line. And it seems as if, according to Team Canelo and sources close to Canelo's team, that told me personally that, you know, they want him to sign a multi-year contract, multi-fight contract, in which he's not, you know, he's not open to doing so. Now, we did hear, this is on par with what we heard from Eddie Hearn, who stated that earlier last week that they were looking to get Canelo to sign a 3-fight deal. That would include Jamal Charlo, undefeated 2-division world champion, who's the reigning WBC middleweight world champion. And they wanted to include David Benavidez, and possibly David Benavidez, who's a super middleweight, undefeated 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion, superstar Mexican boxer, who held the WBC title at super middleweight, lost it on the scales. Thus the reason why Canelo fought Caleb Smith for the vacant WBC title. And there's talks that it could possibly be another fight as well on the table for Canelo Alvarez, which in return with Team Canelo Alvarez would be a 4-fight deal, because they're looking at the Caleb Plant fight is already a fight. So it would be Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, not in no particular order outside of Caleb Plant, and possibly another fight, okay? Which people, I saw a report that stated that the 4th fight could possibly be Errol Spence Jr., you know, but it looks like the sticking point is simply he's not willing and open to having a 3-fight deal. He doesn't want to sign a multi-fight contract to fight Caleb Plant. He simply just wants to sign on, fight Caleb Plant. It was even reported at one point in time that he was willing to do a 2-fight contract, okay, which would be a Caleb Plant fight and an additional fight. But according to the sources that's close to Team Canelo, I can't reveal those sources, but those sources that are close to Team Canelo is that it's a multi-fight deal that came back across to Team Canelo's table, and his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, is not happy about the multi-fight deal, and they don't want to be locked in. They're currently right now network free agents, and so it's being reported that that's a part of the issue. that's holding Canelo Alvarez up. But Canelo Alvarez is more than willing to go back to the negotiation tables. We know Caleb Plant, who revealed some things that, in negotiations. But according to reports, Canelo Alvarez is more than willing to go back to the negotiation table as long as they knock down this multi-fight contract that, is being offered. Okay, obviously, they want to get a return on their investment. If you're the PBC, it's smart business on your part. Do you want to give Canelo Alvarez the biggest payday of his career, $40 million, and he's going to have all types of incentives, okay? He's going to have pay-per-view incentives. He's going to have $40 million plus Mexican TV rights, his Hennessy sponsorship. He's going to have the upside of the live gate and the pay-per-view revenue. That's going to see him make at least $55 million, okay, for this fight. And if you're the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, and Caleb Plant doesn't win this fight, right, what do you get back in return? You get absolutely nothing. Canelo Alvarez walks out the door with the other belt, never fights Jamal Charlo, never fights David Benavidez, and you absolutely get nothing. So it's understandable that you at least want to get another fight, okay? And according to sources close to Team Canelo, he was willing to do a 2-fight deal. He doesn't want to do a 3+ fight deal, okay? And like I said, it's smart business on the part of the PBC. There's no way we're going to give you everything you're looking for. The ring size, the higher share of the live gate, the higher share of the pay-per-view revenue, the bigger purse by far, $40 million to $10 million. You win this fight, you get a rematch clause only in your favor. If Canelo Alvarez wins, Caleb Plant doesn't get a rematch. Caleb Plant wins, Canelo Alvarez gets an immediate rematch. What does the PBC stand to gain by giving Canelo Alvarez everything just to have him showcase his talents one fight on their network? No. They need to get something business-wise in return. A return on their investment. Okay, a safety net. Caleb Plant loses this fight. We need to have you showcase your talents at least one more time to bring back some of that revenue in that we lost on Caleb Plant. So it's smart business on both parts, and leads me to believe there's just posturing, and they'll find a common medium, as it's being reported that Canelo Alvarez is more than willing to come back to the negotiation table. And I believe September 18th, we'll get Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.